Thank you. Thank you. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Ronnie Show. So glad you could be with us here this evening on this first night of round number 2 of the Clark Cup playoffs. Sioux City will be in Fargo here tonight. This is our little pregame show, I guess you could call it, right before we go on the air on Gigantic Friday. That'll be at 7:45 p.m. Eastern Time. So, yeah, make sure you join us for that because it'll be a whole lot of fun. Let's, kind of recap what's been going on here. As you know, Fargo was in Sioux City this week for, Tuesday night and Wednesday night for the postseason. It was whatever, I guess. So, Fargo, the first night, Tuesday night, God only knows what happened Tuesday night, but they got the shock of a lifetime, I'll tell you that much, with the postseason. Just boom, right in. 4 goals in the first. Muskies never looked back, and Fargo never looked ahead. Urban was unstoppable, I'll just say that. He had, I think, a 14-save shutout. That's just craziness. And so, yeah, 7-0 was the score. The defensemen were kind of like, the offense, You had Drake Murray scoring 2 goals, Liam Hupka scoring 2 goals. I mean, hey, when did they come into offensive machines? I don't know. But, yeah, that was a really, really nice thing to see on Tuesday night. And then Wednesday night, or last night as I'm filming this, I don't want to say we necessarily took a step back or we looked tired necessarily. It's just, we knew that, once Fargo, got over the bad showing of the night before, they were going to come back out swinging. And that's exactly what they did. Yeah, they kind of, I wouldn't say they necessarily tired out Sioux City. I think that's the wrong term for that. But, necessarily worked Sioux City to death. Or, well, trying to figure out the right words here that I want to call it. But, yeah, Sioux City didn't really take a step back, but Fargo figured out their game. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. So, yeah, that was Wednesday night. But, hey, it was tied up at 2. Well, no, it was 2-1 at the end of the second. Kind of the halfway point of that second period, the reffing started to become a little questionable. I'll say that much. So, yeah. And usually when that happens, that means we're more than likely going to lose the game. And it looked like that because right in the third period, Fargo had a power play, which shouldn't have even happened. We should have had the power play instead. But did we? No. Because why not? The refs were sucking our I'll just say that. I don't know why I went like that either. But you get what I'm saying. It was rigged bullcrap. That's basically what it was. It was ridiculous what happened last night. But hey, Tate Pritchard scored and we were off and away at that point. So, yeah. So we got to experience, a series sweep of the Fargo Force, which predictably was going to happen, I must say. So, yeah, now we've got Sioux City and Lincoln tonight. Of course, Lincoln, and we'll say this throughout the game and throughout the series, Lincoln has been the best team in the USHL all year long. And if anybody is going to defeat Lincoln, I think the Musketeers have the best chance at doing that. Although Sioux Falls, they are a good team. They beat Lincoln a couple of times this year. I think Sioux City, though, when it comes to goal scoring and goaltending, they are 2 of the best in that. And when the defense is working too, then that's even more bonus points right there. So, yeah, and then the winner of Sioux City and Lincoln will play the winner of Waterloo and Sioux Falls. That series will get kicked off here Saturday night. Oh, wait, no, Friday night. Tonight, actually. So, yeah. So, yeah, that'll be what's coming up here tonight. Yeah, so, well, both Sioux City and Lincoln, they will be away tonight and tomorrow night, and then we'll be back home Monday night and Tuesday night, and then Game 5, if necessary, will be in Lincoln Thursday night. However, I am not going to be a part of that. Well, I might not be. Because there's like a banquet or what. I won some scholarship, and there's a banquet for it, so I gotta deal with that, basically. So, yeah, hang on. I'm going to sneeze. I don't want it to get all on camera. Woo! Okay. I'm good. Sneezing fit. Ugh. It's allergy season, so it makes sense. But, yeah, so, let's see. Where was I? Oh, yeah. So, if I do go on the air Thursday night, if we do need Game 5, it'll probably be between 9 and 9:30 Eastern time before I come back on for that, so... Yeah, and who knows, we might already know who isn't going to win the game. We'll see. And that's if we even need it. We might not end up needing it, which I'm hoping is the case. I think Lincoln will probably get one game, if they do, big deal, so what? And if it's at home, that's even better. But if we can get the 2 games here and then get one of the games this weekend in Lincoln, we're going to be looking pretty damn good. And we've had some good luck in Lincoln this year. We've won 2 of the games we played in Lincoln, so that's good. And an advantage for Lincoln is that their ice surface is shorter than regulation size, and we've beat them twice at that. So that's nothing new. And this will be the first time we played Lincoln since Rocky Russo made his idiotic comments after a 7-2 win versus us back on March 7th. We're going to play those in the cold open. So, yeah, you better watch out for that, because it's going to be interesting. And well, we now head to the main point of this episode. Yeah, of course, since Fargo took a dumper, those 3 animals have decided, well, we're going to keep up the basically. So, yeah, that'll definitely be some interesting stuff. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we will have that right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everybody, to the Ronnie Show. Well, it's now time for the main part of this episode. Of course, we have our 3 trolls. The 3 musketeers, as we like to call them here in Sioux City. Darius Andres, Joey Hughes, and Ron Gilmore. Those stupid-ass people, I gotta tell you that much. But, yeah, so obviously all hell broke loose once Tuesday night happened. And, well, first, let's start off with this one idiot saying, "Nice dive, Urban." Now, there's two issues with that. I want to, how do I want to say? Yeah, there's a couple of issues with that. I shouldn't say 2. Number 1 is that this guy wasn't actually in the arena. He was watching this on Flow Hockey. So, obviously, he might not have seen what had actually occurred. Second thing was, it happened right in front of my eyes. And I will tell you, well, I guess they did show a replay of it, but I will tell you one thing. First of all, I will admit, Urban, he did flop a little bit. However, though, even if he didn't flop, that is still a tripping penalty, because you tripped our goaltender. That's a penalty. Flop or not. If he just stayed on his toes, he probably still would have gotten a penalty, more than likely. So, yeah. And that goes to show you, don't with Urban, because he will definitely do some stuff. That's all I'm going to say. So, yeah, that was God, that happened way earlier in the game than I thought it did. But anyway. So, yeah. And then this is in the one discussion group. There's 2 discussion groups here that, so, excuse me. So there's not really much trash talk in either group, although there was one piece of interesting information that I did see, and it was the USHL. They're going to release the schedule in June for next season, so that's already something to look forward to. But they are going to develop, they're partnering with Johns Hopkins, and they're going to develop an AI generated schedule. So this could be real interesting here because, and I guess they've already tried a couple of times to use AI, well, before they signed on to do this. Yeah. What do I want to say? No, well, it wasn't that company, but one guy actually tried it. Tried doing it AI style. And I think one team played the other team 24 times. There's only 62 games in a regular season, so 24 times, that's a little outrageous, obviously, but yeah. So there's that. And then there was another interesting stat note before we get to Darius, Joey, and Ron. And this was by the one admin of the one group. He said Sioux City's goalie Samuel Urban started this year's playoffs with 98 minutes and 27 seconds of shutout hockey before Fargo scored late in the second period of Game 2. This is not trivia, but a legitimate question. And he was right, 98 minutes and 27 seconds. However, I went into Saturday night's game at Des Moines, and I looked up when Des Moines scored their final goal, their fourth goal. And that was, I think it was a minute and 48 seconds, I think, into that into that third period. So in total, since that goal Saturday night, he went 116 minutes and 39 seconds without letting up a goal. That's almost 2 full games right there. That is incredible. And you know what? Fargo's goaltender did the same damn thing last season in the playoffs against us. Except for that Game 4, if there weren't, such penalties called against us, that might have been a whole different story. But, yeah. And then there was this other thing that I wanted to talk about here. We all like to bash on the other teams, so let's try something different. Who is your favorite away broadcaster? You cannot say your home broadcaster. And then this guy, I think I looked at his profile. I think it said he was from Lincoln. My favorite away broadcaster is Sioux City. I think it's Curtis. That is who it is. I really enjoy the way he calls the game, and he definitely cheers for his team, but is also not afraid to say when the other team has a good play, which is 100% true. Here on RVN, you get the Howard Cosell style treatment from me. That means, I basically tell it like it is about other teams. Sure, I might exaggerate it, but you know what? It's true. It happened. You can believe what you want, but it's true. Saw it with my own 2 eyes, Yeah, I just say it in a way that, pisses off people. I mean, I'm sure with some of the stuff, we're going off topic here, but I'm sure with some of the stuff Howard Cosell said during his tenure in boxing, Monday Night Football, Monday Night Baseball, etc., I'm sure a lot of people agreed with him on, things, obviously, but the way he said them and the way he went about doing it, that's what offended people, I think. So, yeah, I mean, it doesn't offend me none, because, I think he's one of the GOATs, I gotta be honest with you, so, yeah. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So, yeah, there was that, and then there really wasn't anything else after that, I gotta be honest with you. Hang on. Hang on. Okay. You know what? I'm not gonna Because it's something about, like, the in-game, operation that, like, some of the games and stuff, like, it's got nothing to do with bashing here. But I will say, we'll go back to the other USHL discussion group. There is the clean one, whatever the hell that means. There's not really anything in that either. Now we'll get to the fun part. So this was up when we were up 4-0. Well, it might have only been like 2 or 3-0. And this guy put down, "Where's Darius?" Well, a little bit later, Darius Andres, what happened to your team? Or what happened to your sorry team? Couple of minutes later. Oh, wait, no, that's not. That was part of a different game. Okay, this here was truly a couple of minutes ago. This was when it was 3-0. Too early to celebrate, but this is a great start. Let's go Muskies. Then at the end of one, when it was 4-0, well, looks like Fargo gave up shots on goal for Lent, Darius Andres, because they only had one shot on goal at the end of that first period. Yeah, so and then somebody else mentioned that. And then they tagged Joey Hughes. And they said, "Don't think we forgot what you said and your boyfriends have been saying." And then this dude had the balls to say, "I didn't have high hopes coming into this series. Just didn't think it'd be this bad starting off." At least he's admitting defeat right there. So that's good. Okay, here we go. Here's another guy. And this is from Albert Mata. There's literally no Fargo Force stuff anywhere on his profile. It's just North Dakota State Bison. But then Facebook has this filter where you can only see like certain posts from people instead of like all of their posts. So, yeah, and he had the balls to say, oh, hold on, let me go back and find it because oh god, we're just getting started here. Let me go find it. Okay, yeah, here we go. "I swear, Darius must be the mayor of Sioux City with their obsession with him." Darius did that himself. We had nothing to do with it. It was him and Ron Gilmore last season being jackasses. That's why we're so obsessed with them, because he put his goddamn name out there. Duh. Dumbass. Like Billie Eilish in that one song, "I'm the bad guy." Duh. I can't believe that. That's just crazy. Oh, and then this was after it was 5-0 at the end of the second period. One guy was like, "Darius, Joey, and Albert, what's going on? Y'all kind of quiet." And then Albert puts down a meme that says, "Put it all in your mouth." Like, what do you mean? Your team's sucking right now. Why are you telling us to shove it? Like, what the hell? We're doing the same damn thing that Darius does whenever we lose, and his team turns out has a like couple of weeks. Well, no, we'll go back to that March 7th game when it was 7-0. Darius decided to be a smartass when they lost to the bottom-ranked team in the East. Like, know your role. Know your role. Jeez Louise. Oh my god. Now, as you can hear, my voice isn't in tip-top shape, but hey, Fargo, the movie was better, hey. And then Darius, before the game is over, "Thanks, Muskies, for making me the first person you think about during and more than likely after tonight's game. It's very humbling." Well, we wouldn't have been thinking about you, but you were all on our minds because you like to comment dumb about us, so obviously we were going to think about you. Obviously we were locked in the back of your head, you dumb crap. Yeah, so then we got the free pizza. Hey, Fargo, thanks for the pizza. There we go. So we got that. And then Darius, still, we're not done with this game yet. He tags 7 people, count them, 7 people who have responded to his bullshit. And he put this caption: Sioux City scores the first goal, and my name is the first to come to their mind. I will continue to add to this list, but these guys are the guys that thought about me all day today and probably all weekend. I'm sure the list will go longer. I will update every so often. Again, we wouldn't have been thinking about you, but your dumbass decided to put your name out there. Boom! My God. Freaking dumbass. Jesus criminy. And then Tim Barrett, who is, I'm assuming, a Sioux City fan. Yeah, he is. He's actually mutual friends with, like, my family members. That's kind of weird. I had no idea who this guy was until now, but I guess he's got a couple of my friends, a couple of my family members as mutual friends. But he said, oh God, then, I click on another profile and then I lose my spot. Anyway, we'll go back. Anyone working at the Tyson would be curious how late Fargo skates tonight. Because, if you've all seen, the Miracle on Ice, how Herb Brooks makes them skate to the blue line, skate back, skate to center, skate back, skate to the blue line, skate back. At least I think that was what the routine was. So, yeah. So, well, now the next day, we had the news that the league has finally come together to deal with Omaha. We already knew that. Okay, so at this point... okay, so this was after the game, so there wasn't really any trash talk until the end of the game. Hey, are you okay? That's what this one guy said to Darius. Obviously not. But guess what? Ron Gilmore responded, and he put this. Nah, it's easy to get under your skin, and while fans of other teams understand trash talking, you thin skin and lack of understanding of hockey makes it as easy as it can be. Reality is, understanding the truth of the talent of a team has compared to other teams. No issues with support and want, but one-line teams don't win the cup unless they play only one-line teams. Hot goalie steals a game here and there, but talent wins in series. Yeah, which you guys have nothing of. We actually have talent. And we're not a one-line team. We're not. You might think we are, but we're not. There's a good piece on every line, on all 4 lines. The first 2 lines, all 6 players. Chef's kiss. Of course, he forgot that. And of course, he got roasted. And then this guy says talent wins in series, like the series we just won. So there you go. Yes, just as Waterloo took out Tri-City, I have no illusion of Fargo being in the second round, regardless of if it was Sioux City or not. Okay, so your previous comment that you said at that point is irrelevant, because you knew your team was going to be out, but then you decided to say, oh, we're a one-line team. Obviously, it wasn't just one line that eliminated your dumbasses. It was a whole team effort. He's going to be dead sometime soon, I have a feeling. And then down goes Fargo. There was that. Signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours. Signed, sealed, delivered. Fargo is done. Good night, losers. That's basically what we said. Then start the bus, Darius Andres. And they were chanting that way before the game was over with. So. Oh, here was the dumb comment. Gunderson and Pritchard sure got away with a lot tonight. Sioux City has got to have some of the worst fans in the league. That's coming from someone who has never been down to a game at the Tyson Event Center. Has never, well, how should I say this? Our fans are at the games up in Fargo, but he pays no attention to them. That's what I'm trying to say. And then, of course, all of us come to our defense, as we freaking should, because this guy, like, that's defamation. He could, honest to God, get sued for that and lose. Right there. So, and you know what? I might do that. I'm not going to lie with you. The courts will award me all the money there is in the world if I win. So, there's that. And then, Darius Andres, what do you got to say now? And then the sweeps, blah, blah, blah. Darius, your season's over. Sorry about your luck. etc., etc., etc. Oh, and then Karen Mitchell, some bitch from Fargo, she thinks this is some big joke, I guess. What, your team just got eliminated out of the postseason. That is no joke right there. So anyway, hey Darius Andres, what time Fargo play their next game? We are advancing. There you go. So now, okay, no, we're still last night at this point. So Darius decides to put this. Rocky Russo had this matchup written on his calendar. Don't worry, Muskies. You will hear from me after every loss. Now, while that is true, and that may be true, your team's out. We made it further than you did. So what you say is pretty much irrelevant from this point forward. Your team's gone. You're donezo. Finito. Like, it doesn't matter. Your comments are irrelevant at that point. And then last night, still, this comes from another Fargo fan. 4 posts about Darius Andres as soon as Fargo lost. He really is Sioux City's favorite person. Let me just remind you, Ryan Hoyland, if he wouldn't have put his goddamn name out in the first place, we wouldn't be as obsessed with him as we are. Does Fargo not get it? Do they not understand that if Darius is a dumbass wouldn't have put his name out there, we wouldn't be so obsessed with him? Olivia Rodrigo wouldn't have even had to make the song called Obsessed. I'm so obsessed with your ex. Like, that song would never have been released if Darius Andres was a human. Well, you're pissing me off. I know that. And it's funny as hell. Yeah. And then, last night, Darius, he is still pretty goddamn low. But, holy crap. He must have had at least 4 margaritas, 5 or 6 margaritas afterwards when he made this comment. The Muskie series against Lincoln will be shorter than John Bobbitt's genitals. That is a real comment. Right here. There it is. Right there. In black and white. Right there. And I didn't even know who he was at first. But, oh my God. Won't be shorter than the Fargo team they just played. Couldn't imagine being a fan of that sad franchise. Scored 2 goals in 2 games. They should consider dropping to the NHL, which they should. Oh my God. And then our one guy from Sioux City comments, so now Darius has genitals on his mind. Well, yeah, because he wouldn't have said the goddamn thing. Holy crap. That was effing crazy. And then Karen Mitchell, the bitch from Fargo, comments, Sioux City will go down in 2 games. It's the best of 5. The first of 3 wins. Can you freaking count? Oh, my God. And then shorter than Rocky, missed opportunity. But, obviously, this dumbass from Fargo, he's going to be cheering for Lincoln, naturally. So, hey, well, oh, my God. And then I actually had to look up who John Bobbitt was, because I had never heard of the asshole. And, well, he might not be an asshole, but. So here's the story. Lorena Bobbitt severed her husband John's penis on June 23rd, 1993 at their home in Manassas, Virginia. Hold on, we gotta figure this one out. We gotta Lorena stated in a court hearing that after coming home that evening, her husband had raped her. Ooh, that's not good. After then, he went to sleep. She got out of bed and went to the kitchen for a drink of water. She then grabbed an 8-inch Jinsu carving knife on the counter, returned to their bedroom, pulled back the bed sheets, and cut off his penis. There was a guy that did that on Jerry Springer about 5 years later, and he used garden shears. So, yeah. And don't ask why I know that. My dad was a huge Jerry Springer fan. That's why I knew that. And then, of course, after that, she escaped. Nothing new. And after a length of time driving and struggling to steer with one hand due to holding the penis in her hand, she threw the penis out a window into a roadside field on whatever drive, and she even called 911 and admitted to the crime, telling them she had done and where the penis could be found. And they didn't even find it until God knows when. But they were able to get it back on them, so. And apparently it's fully, it's good now. I'll just say that. And, well, after that, safe to say it's an interesting story. So you're going to have to, and he became a wrestler, too. So there's that. Okay, we might need to go to a commercial break because I think we're like way over time at this point. We'll take a break. We'll be back. Don't go away. I need a drink of water, obviously. See you in a minute. I'm going to go get a drink of water. Welcome back, everybody. I got myself a drink of water because that was a 24-minute segment that I was not expecting. I'll just say that. But we're not even done with all the ridiculous comments. I gotta be honest with you. We're not done yet. So obviously, hey, Darius Andres, what happened to the sweep you were talking about? Oops, did the puck go in on an empty net tonight? Don't go away, Mad. Just go away. So there we go. There was that. Yeah, and then there was a new thing called Fargo Farce, like that. So yeah, that was fun. And then that takes us to, well, last night still. That video resurfaced of Rocky Russo being an ass. So, yeah, obviously we mentioned that on a previous Ronnie show, so. Yeah. And then Albert Mata. Oh, baby. Okay. So he in fact screenshotted a picture that was already posted into this in this group and put the following caption. Huge win. What a game. The Sioux City Musketeers beat a Fargo Force team that was barely relevant this year. Yay. Glad you guys can beat us in the Omaha Lancers. That already right there makes you sound like an So, yeah, right there. Yeah. I don't know what will be shorter, the IQs of Musketeers fans or the series versus Lincoln. Well, obviously, if you have an IQ of 5 or 3, you're pretty, well, I think you can take a guess on that one. But, of course, he keeps getting roasted. And then we go all the way back to May 5th of last year. The Sioux City Musketeers lost to Fargo that night and got eliminated from the playoffs. He posted this. Tri-City and Sioux City need to stop playing Fargo in the playoffs. Fargo always makes them look like sissies. Tonight was Exhibit A. You dumbass! That did not age well. It aged like milk. Oh my God. And let's go all the way back to 2022. You damn right I am going to go there. Tri-City was in the exact same position as Fargo. They had a record-breaking season. Probably the best team in USHL history at that time. We swept them in the Western Conference Finals. We swept them. Of course, this can't explain that either. Obviously, he forgot about that, or else he wouldn't have made that stupid comment either. Oh, and then somebody put the logo in that said Fargo Farce on it, so I love that. It was really quite quiet after that, I must say. I imagine it's pretty convenient to be a Sioux City fan. They can just air up the tires on the house and pull her down to Lincoln for the weekend. And that's probably what we'll freaking do. I mean, I won't, but... Oh, Darius! This is the final thing. How stupid are Sioux City fans, you ask? They sell their cars for gas money. He's just flat out insulting us at this point. He is still insulting us at this point. His team's done. What he said starting at 9, just after 9:30 last night is irrelevant. So, yeah. Holy cow. Here is this comment. Darius, I don't think your mental health is good because all you keep talking about is Sioux City. And then this lady responded, it's not. He's already on Social Security. Oh, good Lord. There are dad jokes and there are bad jokes. This one is worse than both combined. That's damn right. And then this guy posts, too. Better than getting money taken away by the cops for driving to a hockey game to gamble. Well, I don't even know what the hell that means, but poster, boy for condoms. I don't know what the hell that means, but we're going to take a break. We'll be back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everybody, to the Ronnie Show. Well, safe to say this has been an interesting evening. I'll just say that, between Darius and Ron. You haven't heard much from Joey, but I'm sure we'll get his feedback in here at some point within the next day or so. But yeah, so... What was I going to say? Join us, well, after this show here tonight, Muskies in Lincoln. Now, Peace Pizza usually has a watch party. This is Thursday night as we're filming this. They usually have a watch party for the game, or for the away playoff games. I'm not sure if I'm going to go or not, just because the people that I know and that we would usually sit with at those watch parties, they're all going to be down in Lincoln, and I don't honestly really want to be there by myself. So, because the people I'm staying with now, ever since my parents passed away, they're going to be traveling. So, obviously, they won't be here either. But, yeah, so I don't know if I'm going to be going to those. I'm sure if we do make the conference finals and the finals, I'm sure we'll be able to convince some people. You might even meet some of my family during those streams. I'm not gonna lie. So, yeah. So I'll probably be at my Uncle Greg's house in his basement tonight doing that. So, yeah, both tonight and tomorrow night. And tomorrow night we'll have an NBA game, Minnesota and the Lakers. So, yeah, we'll take a break. We'll wrap things up after this. Don't go anywhere. Well, welcome back, everybody, to the Ronnie Show. Well, what did we learn here tonight? I think it's that, we knew that Sioux City was going to sweep Fargo, but with the way Fargo played, we might as well have just laughed in their faces, and boy, did we. Especially you, Ron, Darius, and Joey. Coming up next, stay tuned. Gigantic Friday, Muskies in Sioux Falls. Game 1 of round 2 of the Clark Cup playoffs coming up next right here on RVN. I'll see you for that. Closed captioning is brought to you in part by